Good afternoon, YouTube. Here we are. It's the Ian and Jane show again.
Hello.
If you've not been here before, we are reviewing Edinburgh Fringe. It is...
Must be day 7.
Day 7, 5 to 1 in the afternoon. We've just seen the first show of the day, which was called Appraisal.
Yeah.
Jane chose this.
I did.
Was it a definite or was it a maybe?
It was a definite.
Okay.
So shall I read this blurb?
Yeah.
So it's the Mountain Hare Productions, new writing, a work review gone horribly wrong. Joe needs to appraise Nicky. Nicky just wants to keep working. And they've done other productions in previous fringes and got
lots of 5 stars.
Lots of 5 stars and things, but this is a new play, as we understand it. So.
I started off by thinking I wasn't going to like this. But you were going to say something about the demographic of the audience.
Oh yeah,
because we sat down and
yeah,
it was pretty much full. But today is a 2-for-1 day, so
yeah.
Make of that what you will. I just thought, oh, everybody's our age plus. So, but I didn't quite like it. I mean, it was. I thought it was quite. It wasn't. I was expecting something a bit more acerbic. Do you know what I mean? Something a bit more.
What, biting?
Biting, but it was actually quite gentle.
Yeah.
I thought. Really?
Yeah, there was a gentleness about it. I liked.
It was a two-hander.
Yeah, and it was obviously about a job appraisal. You had basically a male boss and a female head of department, and so he was doing her appraisal, and it was gentle. But there were moments of point scoring
on both sides.
Yeah,
it did make me think. It made me think of. I used to have a colleague at a particular university, and he wasn't my line manager, but there's a lot of this character's traits I saw in that particular person. Yeah. So, and it did also make it's not as ridiculous as The Office and David Brent.
No.
But again, there was slight elements of some of the things that he was saying.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't a parody of David Brent at all.
Oh no.
It was much more of a rounded character, you would argue.
Yeah.
And not a fool as David Brent is.
Yeah.
But actually, he did make me think of that.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he was an older boss, obviously very comfortable in his position, wielded quite a lot of power, and
played golf in his office at the beginning.
So he and he had an idea, which may or may not have come to fruition. I'm not going to give any plot spoilers, but it was a good narrative. There was a beginning and an end, and I liked. I mean, trouble is these words are so overused and cliched now, but I liked the journey that went from A to B. I liked the way it took us.
I did too.
There were hints at quite serious subjects.
There were,
which were explored.
But there were only hints. They weren't explored.
They were explored to a certain extent, but not in depth. So they weren't brushed over.
No, and to some extent it was quite gentle.
Yeah, we keep using that word. It was. I like the performances. They were perfectly suited
to the roles.
And that is Tim Marriott and Angela Bull.
One thing I particularly liked, and right at the end, obviously when they'd taken their applause, they recommended another show, and it wasn't there. I mean, although Tim was doing another show, and he did obviously recommend that, but actually they recommended a show which was in the same venue on a different time that they'd seen last night, and they thought was worthy of note. And I actually really quite like that. I mean, that's just what theatre's about, really.
I mean, I liked the script. I thought the dialogue was very true to life. You could imagine. Well, we've all seen conversations like that.
I've had colleagues that talk like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think we all have.
So
and like I said, there was a story, and it was a good story, and I liked the way it played out. The last sort of 10 minutes were quite clever.
It was
actually.
quite clever, yeah.
But very watchable. It was good. It was good stuff.
I mean, considering that the fact that we said that, sorry, I've just kicked you, that the demographic is our age, do you think a younger audience would enjoy it? Or is it? I mean, it's not, I'll be honest with you, it's not, I mean, we've seen some much more challenging theatre, and I've loved that. Gosh, it's very difficult for us to pronounce on this. I think they might find it boring. Yeah, I did wonder about that, really, you know. But it was very well done. I wasn't bored, you know. Gosh, absolutely not. I was engaged for the full hour, you know. That's a difficult question. Yeah. To be fair, I think if they were looking at descriptions of what it was about, they'd think, oh, an interview. Well, gosh, I'm being really judgmental here. I don't think that it's something that is necessarily interesting. That it's not. You'd want something. I mean, and it is. I think I laughed slightly less than some of the audience, but. People, I mean, it didn't pass the 6 laugh test for me personally, but it clearly did for quite a few number of people in the audience. It was a good audience. Yeah, I mean, it was. I know it's 2 for 1, but I mean, I think this kind of thing will go down really, really well, and it will sell well. And they are here all right the way through, aren't they? I think so. I thought I had the page up, but I haven't. Yeah, they're through here till the Monday the 28th, actually. And they are not here next Monday the 14th and the 21st. It's in, and it was... it's Assembly George Square Studios, Studio 2, 11:35 every morning. Yep. Yeah. If it sounds like your sort of thing, go see it. How many stars? I think I'm going to give it a 4. Well, I'm going to give it a good 3. Okay. For me, it's not a 4, because considering some of the other things we've seen that were definitely 4. I think will appeal to an awful lot of people, and it's really well done. It is well done. Yeah. You know, it's a very satisfying play. If that sounds like your sort of thing, if you want something a bit more challenging, probably look elsewhere. I mean, it's not edgy. No, not at all. There's no swearing in it. Nothing like none of that sort of business. But I think, you know, it's a good play. So I am definitely sticking to my 4. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Next up, we're doing all assembly shows today. That was my plan. Although we're over 2 venues, so we're currently at George Square, aren't we? Yep. We have struggled to find a room actually, and good on the Fringe. This is the Fringe meeting room, which apparently we can book. We haven't booked it. They've literally just let us drop in and use the room for 10 minutes, which is brilliant of them. But we can just email them and use the room, which I think is really fantastic. Yeah. And if we're over here later on, we may well do that. Next up, we've got another show here, which is Alone, which I think is sci-fi. Anyway, that'll be the next video. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Okay. See you later. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.